I'm recording in the cloud. All right, we're recording. I sure hope, yes, we are. All right, we're gonna get started. Sorry that we're not. Can Mark, can you go to the kulaSales coach page and just post that we can't go live on Facebook? So please come in the old-fashioned way and follow the link. That would be great.
Post that we're live on Zoom.
Yeah,
I can post it in there, Rhonda.
Okay, please do. Okay. Yeah, because we are not going to be on Facebook. So there.
Gotcha. Okay, I can do that.
Take that, Mr. Facebook. Mr. Zuckerberg. All right, Robin. When you are done with that, I am going to have you share your screen. Oh no, I'm sharing my screen. I'm sorry, I knew that.
I got it, Mark.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, I'm going to. All right. Very, very exciting today because we are, although it is not directly a sales rep function, we are all very interested in getting the fundraiser programs up and running. So Corey threw the challenge out to the lovely Miss Robin to take the original version of the fundraiser program and update it. And she has done that. And we'll be walking you through the basics of it so that you will see where it's going. And then, of course, part two to that is the online version of it, the software version of it, which will follow very quickly. So, Robin, I'm going to just toss the ball to you right now.
All righty. Thank you, Rhonda. Hello, everyone. I'm going to be explaining to you what is kulaFundraising. Our kulaFundraising is going to be an opportunity for our community to help nonprofit organizations to raise much needed funds for their program. And Rhonda, that's the second slide.
I knew that.
So you can see that you'll become a certified kulaFundraising representative. That way you'll have all the necessary training and all the necessary materials for you to be successful and for the nonprofit organizations to be successful. So as we go forward from today, we're going to be adding some brands to the fundraising program. The next one is the one everyone's waiting for. InstaJam will be coming on probably next week. So give us a little time to personalize all the documents for you. What's going to be included is here on this list, and I don't want to, necessarily go through each one, so you can kind of read this little checklist here, the tools for success, and then I'll go over each one a little bit.
You just tell me when to go next, so I'll hit the next slide for you.
Yeah, I just want to give them time to read. Okay, I think they've probably read that.
Mm-hmm.
So the fundraising general overview is going to be your typical fundraising program, except ours is going to have no cost to the schools, the groups, the students to participate, and no geographical location limitations. Means they can sell to anyone, like Aunt Ruth wants to buy from little Johnny and she lives in another state. So we're going to make that possible for everyone to get those wonderful items. There's potential residual income for the group, and that means also for you as a fundraising representative. What that means is that they can do ongoing so that they can run it all year long if they'd like. And then we would just have to set up, close dates like every month if we have things to ship out, or however frequently the organization needs that to happen. But we'll deal with that on a case-by-case basis for you. And they're standalone products, meaning that we have the most wonderful products ever, and it's going to be something that everyone can use. And that makes it much easier for you as a representative to go out and land these accounts. Next.
Next, please.
So we ask that you train yourself. Stay up to date on all your trainings and materials. Check for weekly updates, kind of like we do now with the Brand Ambassador Program, which I know Rhonda asks you for all these wonderful things every week. So when we're asking for those, just that's kind of a reminder to say, oh, I need to go check and make sure nothing's been updated, and maybe I need to get a little, check, there. Let me go in there and look at the files and download whatever's current, because Rhonda is wonderful. She puts all the dates down there in those little corners, so the most current document. So we're also going to provide you a fundraising pitch, which I'll go over in a minute. And then you're going to train your organization so that they're successful. And if it's a church or a school, they may be holding events that you can attend, or you could perhaps ask if they want to do one where you can go in and kind of demo the products for the group that is attending. Next. We're going to provide you with an approved fundraising email template by each brand, and we'll also provide one if you're offering more than one brand, so that you can have an approved kulaFundraising email. And you'll just personalize that with your contact information, but that will be the only thing that we'll ask you to change in that. Next. The fundraising pitch. It's really simple. You're going in, you're meeting, you're greeting, you introduce yourself, you get to know the group, the organization, the people that you'll be working with on a more personal level. Ask them about their fundraising efforts, their goals, and exchange your information at that time. And then you'll go on to show and demonstrate your products, tell them all the wonderful details and features, because everything's fantastic that we have. And then interact with the product. So you pass it around, let them kind of, touch it, feel it. It brings that more personal connection. And then it gives them an opportunity to say, hey, I want that. So why wouldn't we go ahead and register our organization with you and do the fundraiser? There's just a little bit more of a personal nature. So now you've discussed the program with them. You've shown them the products. You discuss how you're going to offer those products, how the people will be able to use them to raise the funds for their organizations. You're going to discuss how they earn, how much they'll be getting, per item. And that's all going to be in specific documents by brand. So this is just kind of helping you and guiding you so that you have all the details that you need so you feel comfortable. Something you can practice beforehand, get comfortable with, and then it'll just become second nature for you. The additional ways to earn, that may vary by brand, so we're going to hold off on, mentioning any percentages, because it's typically going to be a dollar amount, not a percentage. Next. We're going to also provide you a coordinator checklist. This is just a sampling of what may be on it. It's going to want them to register their organization for, and then we're going to insert the brand name there. And you're going to be the certified representative that they're going to register through. And then you're going to ask that they verify their profile, their contact information, and more importantly, we need to know that they're tax exempt so that when they're running the fundraiser, there's no problems with not collecting tax and just collecting a specific dollar amount. And then more items will be added and more appropriate documents as needed. Next. You can kind of see that this is really going to be simple. I'm going to have it laid out for you so that it's, we're trying to make it a no-brainer. We like easy. We want you to have all the tools for success that you're going to need, and also that the organization's going to need so that they're successful and they want to come back for more. I can't hear you, Rhonda. Your mouth is moving.
My husband wishes there was a mute button. I cannot get it to forward, so I don't know what the next slide is, but you're gonna have to wing it because it's not moving.
Okay, well, that happens. It's also posted into the chat in the in one of the posts there in the
Oh, in the group.
Yeah, in the group. It's in the sales coaching group so that you can find it. Let me just flip some pages here, Rhonda, and we'll get caught up.
I don't know why it's frozen, but it is.
Well, you know, technical difficulties, you know, maybe it just decided it wanted to freeze up, so it could be.
It wants some Helix Express so it can keep
Oh,
moving.
yes. Who doesn't want that? Well, actually, the last slide says thank you for attending.
Right.
It just didn't want you to get that far. We're gonna thank everybody for attending, and you know, please.
You're not off the hook yet. No, don't.
No. Well, wait a minute. I'm not off the hook. So what we're gonna do is have you go ahead and maybe print that, you know, the PowerPoint out, and go ahead and write notes on it, and then make sure that you ask us any questions on that post. And you can also send emails to robin@kulabrands.com, and I'll be glad to create a frequently asked question little document to answer everybody's questions so that they have something to look at, and look at that before asking. Make it easy. Put that easy button in there.
All right, I am going through and I'm getting everybody on to allow to talk, so you can unmute yourself to ask questions. If you are not if you can't do that right now, it's just because I haven't found your name and been able to do it yet, but most of you should be able to.
Okay. I'm going to open up the Q&A. I have one in here. Valerie, Canada will be added as the brands are extended into Canada. Not everyone will be able to have their brands in Canada right away. Cords of Steel is already there, so you can implement that one. So as far as Canada, if I will reach out to Henry Hyatek because he is in Canada doing fundraisers successfully.
I've talked to Henry already, and we do have this problem with the GST in Canada.
GST being what?
GST is a federal tax that is charged on everything that comes across the border. And I'm just wondering how they're going to deal with, if a shipment comes to the school, who's going to pay the duties and the GST?
And well, then if we will keep that question and make sure that we figure that one out. I will tell you right now that we will not be launching this in Australia for these very reasons. There are specific rules and little intricacies that have to be sorted out, and that's, as Sharon has said, that's one of them. There is tax implications. There are, whether it's a .org or not, that type of thing. So, so GST is an open question, Sharona, that Henry's been able to sort out.
I will.
Hi, Rhonda. It's Saul.
Hey, Saul. How are you?
Hi, Saul.
Hi. Question. What about, like, I live in Los Angeles, and it's a very big market, but how do we stop each other from stepping on each other's toes?
I don't think you need to worry about that. We're not, unfortunately, the community is not big enough to worry about that.
Good. So once you establish an account, it's registered and it's pretty much yours to follow up on for continued fundraising campaigns.
Correct. We have a form that you submit your fundraisers on. And when you do that, it goes into a spreadsheet.
Okay.
So we'll be able to track what's yours, correct, Rhonda?
And Robin, you, I know that you had this on the slide, but I don't know if I was fooling around with my computer, so I didn't hear you say it. I mean, like, I wasn't like playing dominoes. I was like, you know, working. And so I was fooling around.
Right. Well, we won't have territories, is what we're saying. But the reps will be mainly looking locally, and there will be only certain corporate held accounts as well. So there may be some that will only go to through corporate for the fundraisers, and the reps will be mainly concentrating on, you know, their local groups and
Local schools,
like
organizations,
schools, churches, correct.
Got it. Perfect.
I don't know if the, Robin, what I wanted you to cover was there is going to be we're requiring a lot more from the inventors as we move forward with sales reps and with fundraisers and everything. So within the inventors organization, they will have a point person. And if they cannot establish a point person who will be in charge of the fundraising back and forth and communication, then we will not launch them with the fundraiser program, basically. And
Correct.
Robin, I can't remember what you're calling that person. It's a simple thing and I can't remember it.
FAM, fundraising assistant. It's your, fundraising assistant management. So you'll be assigned someone to help you through that brand. And if they don't have that in place, they can't come on board because everyone's going to need, some assistance at some level. And then also that, let's face it, the groups and organizations are going to end up reaching out for assistance, maybe with their orders and what have you. So we don't want any hiccups if we can help it.
So
well, you guys have done a great job so far. I got to tell you, in all my years of fundraising and talking with you, Robin, and bringing these products out, as you have done systematically, for instance, Cords of Steel, I know they're doing a lot. And both myself and Greg Mills from our company, we're going to be approaching the schools. We're already talking to the catalog sales and distribution, all kinds of things. So as you guys have geared this up, I want to commend you and thank you for all your hard work. Everything that you've done has been systematically very well done. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Saul.
Thank you, Saul.
Very nice. The program itself will, once you see the packet, and which I have seen, Robin's given me a bit of a preview of the packet, and it will look somewhat similar to the old Cords of Steel program, because again, this is the paper version of the fundraiser program,
right.
The paper and envelope kind of a thing. So for those of you who have done fundraisers in the past, it will not feel very foreign. What we've done is Robin, actually, not we, Robin's done, is she's done the research on the paperwork and what's required from the tax side of things, so that as you go into these schools or these Boy Scout organizations or the church or whatever, that you're able to speak and communicate within that to the leadership group there and know what you're talking about. And so there will be a certification process of just going through the information so that you know that you're prepared. And that will allow you to speak with confidence about all those little tax loopholes and things like that, because it really comes down to 2 or 3 things that you need to have from them in order to process it. And then having at the inventor level, having that point person who also understands those things, that there is a tax document, there is a 5013C certification, et cetera, will allow you to move this process that much faster and smoother, because up until this point, those are the kinds of things that we've just said, oh, it'll get worked out, it'll get worked out. And I don't understand it altogether, but now Robin does, and she's going to make sure that those inventors have a point person for you to reach out to as well. So, Robin, may I ask? I'm going to interview Robin now in case. Oh, good. We do have some questions. So, Robin, what will I have to do to get a certification? Do I have to do like a blood test, or do I have to?
No, we already heard yours was tainted, so we'll pass on that.
It's not tainted. It's now very rich with Helix Gold and.
I know we have CBD rich blood, but it will be a simple process. There will be some training that you're going to do on your own, and it will be by brand as well. You'll have to know the product, and we're going to put a little quiz together and send that out, and it will occasionally be mixed up, so no cheating, no.
I think some of the things that Robin and I talked about the other day, we've both been in fundraising for a long time, her longer than me, and her experience in doing this, and mine as well. We deal with all kinds of different types of charities and organizations that the simpler you can keep it, the easier it is for them to understand. You don't have to, it's not rocket science. It's simple, easy. They don't have to come up with any money. It's risk-free. And we've had programs like this in the past, but it hasn't been like with a particular product. And what's great about what you guys have come up with, and when I saw this when I first came on board with Jill Watson, is I said, what about fundraising? And she goes, oh, they just started with Cords of Steel. And then I met Howard with the Instajams, and I said, wow, this would be a great product. And so, I mean, I've got samples here on my desk. I'm just waiting for what you guys have done with the app, so we can send it out to our database and say, get a hold of us today to sign up. And using this kind of electronic system to register them, to get them on board. And of course, you're going to do some hand holding. You always do when you do fundraising, because they want to know about how do we do it? What do we do? How, what, where, when? And if you keep it really simple, if there are really hard questions, I'm sure that the team will be there to support. I'm here to support as well. I've been doing fundraising for 20 years, and it's great what you guys have done. I thank Peter and everyone else. And as we're getting more and more involved with, the products that are coming out, and, the King of Hearts campaign that's coming up, we're doing that big launch with Tommy Funderburk, and doing a big event here locally, and not too far from me at the Canyon Club. And some of you Kula brand members and ambassadors, I'm sure you'll be there, at that. I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of you face to face, but just so you know, Rhonda knows, and so does Robin. If you ever need help, if you can't get a hold of them, I don't have a problem helping anybody.
That's amazing, Saul.
Yeah, Saul's got a pretty deep background in fundraising, but also in some pretty big events. So he's going to be a great resource. And I'm going to, go back to something, Robin, you said earlier, which makes me feel better. We are going to keep this simple and trying to minimize the paperwork and the amount of things that have to be passed out and handed out and printed out, et cetera, et cetera. So it will be boiled down on the paper side to where it becomes quite easy to manage. And because you get to do this, the certification, it just allows you to feel confident that you understand what you're speaking to and about. So, Robin, when do we think that you're going to have the first certification training program?
Yes, I have a question ahead of that. I have Kathy asking about the fundraising software.
Yeah.
Do you have an update for that? Because I knew we would get asked. It will probably be within the next week, it appears. There's just fine tuning it, and they'll be putting out all the training for that as well. And it will be open to a select group in the beginning while we go through the testing phase. So please be patient with us because we want to make sure that it rolls out properly. And as far as asking when we can start the training, Julie, what I'm going to do is I have the documents to update, and Cords of Steel will probably be the first one done because it's already in play. And I'll just be, taking these documents that I already have and dropping their logo and some product information in there for you. And then once you train on one, you're an officially certified fundraising rep for all Kula products. And all we ask forward as you add them is that you train on the brand and know your product thoroughly.
That's pretty simple. It makes it very easy to, again, feel confident and know what you're talking about. So we certify once, and then of course, we all know our Cords of Steel and we know our InstaJams, and then, we'll see which other brands come rolling into this program. But that is really good to know. That's really great to hear, Robin.
Yes, we're gonna be able to do a lot with our products. And like Saul has, reiterated that we have this and it's simplified. We want everyone to have the tools they need, because having the tools that you need and being simplified as it is, you'll be successful. And you have Saul, you have myself, you have Rhonda. We have a lot of people in the community that will go forth and help you.
I think the biggest
You guys are on your own.
Yeah, I think the greatest thing that you've created is an app, because everybody has a smartphone. That's the most brilliant thing. When you said, yeah, we're developing an app, I was like excited, because every kid is going to share this with their friends and family at school. It's going to be a more of a viral campaign to sell more product.
Right, can I just add something? I started approaching schools when we were doing the fundraising for MobiCard.
Yeah.
And a lot of schools today won't deal with you unless you have a software or an app. They don't want the paper. I'm talking specifically schools though. So they don't want the paper stuff anymore. They've got everything is electronic today. Now, separate groups like the band or, the football team or whatever, they may still do the paper forms, but school districts per se will not unless it's all electronic. And the reason I'm stressing this is right now, February and March is when the schools are setting up their fundraisers for the fall. It's not, you don't go in there in the fall expecting to do a fundraiser next fall. They schedule them out. And so I'm just going to say I'm really anxious.
Oops. It disappeared on us. Go ahead. Kathy?
Yeah, I guess I went to mute or something. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know how far I went or how much you guys heard, but it just, the schools are setting up their fundraisers today, the spring. The springtime is when they're setting it up for next fall. It's not, and fall for school districts is the biggest time of the year for the fundraisers. Now, other organizations or clubs or teams within the schools, they're different. But I guess I was just trying to stress that I'm really anxious for the electronic form to be done, because many schools today will not even deal with or look at a fundraiser if they cannot do it electronically. And that's just, I'm going to say the PTA, the school district as a whole, not necessarily the individual groups or teams or whatever. They'll still do paper forms. So I'm just excited to get it all started, but I hope we get it done enough time to schedule those fall fundraisers.
I don't think that will be, well, who knows? So what do I know? But, well, I know that Robin's putting the final finishing touches on the packet that she's been, revising out, updating the Cords of Steel version and getting it all up to date. That's virtually, finished. And then the software program's going to roll out probably in the next week or so. who knows? That's not, we don't, it's out of everybody's control because software is like that, but it's certainly something that obviously we all know is important, and we're putting as many resources as we have against it. So.
Okay, hey, I've got a question.
Yeah. Who is this?
Dave Winters here.
Oh, hey, Dave.
Hi. One of the things, you know, I love the idea that we're going to have the software and everything, but I also live in an area where we have a lot of people who, I'll just say, are underserved by the banking industry, and they still want to use cash and checks and things like that. Is there going to be that option as well that goes along with the software? Do we know at this point?
Absolutely. What Robin's just shown you is basically the old, what I always call it the old-fashioned paper envelope, you know, paper and envelope. And there are people, I know Kathy and you know, we've all seen that in some larger markets, they've shied away from that, or they've gotten away from that. But at the same time, the smaller markets or more rural areas, they are still going with that old-fashioned face-to-face, you know, envelope in hand. Here's what I have to sell, and you know, going door to door. So we've got to provide both. And absolutely, Dave, that's what this packet is going to be ideally developed for. It's really
okay. So we'll be able to use both of those avenues to.
The cool, yeah, absolutely. The cool thing is you'll have the old-fashioned paper version of it, supported by the technology if and when they want to use it. Perfect. So whether that just is a simple thing as going online and watching a video, or whether it's using an app, or whether it's, you know, going full board and going into the software side of it, you're going to have all those tools available at the ready.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. I live in a pretty rural area, and we have a lot of Hispanics and different things going on that, you know, just are, like I say, underserved probably by the banking industry and or wary, and so to be able to do both of those things is great.
No, that makes sense. I was surprised the other day. I a confession's kind of off topic, but not really. There's a point to this story. So I've been clean for 2 years. I haven't had a Girl Scout cookie for 2 years. I consider that clean for me, okay? And and so I've avoided them. You know, I've managed to not go into the grocery store when they've been standing there at the front and do it. And don't you know, they're still out there knocking on doors, because on Sunday, knocks on the door, Girl Scout, there she is with her boxes. So even in San Diego, they're still going from door to door and having a personal interaction for fundraisers. And which is, I think, is a wonderful thing, because I think it really teaches kids a lot of people skills. So I love it when I hear that people are still following that old-fashioned sort of face-to-face sales function within a fundraising entity, because it does teach kids so many great people skills. And I was also on the phone when she knocked on my door, and I said I was able to tell her, oh, no, I'm on the phone right now, I can't. So I'm still clean. I'm just saying. I'm now 2 years and 2 days clean on cookies. So I'm just.
Good for you.
Well done.
Yeah. We'll see if I make it through the weekend. If I go to the grocery store, it might be all over with. We'll see. So
you know, those little kids go viral. I saw in the news today, a girl went viral, sold all 500 boxes of her cookies online.
Oh, brilliant. Well, that's the way it's going. You're absolutely right. That's the way it works.
Yep. That's my granddaughter.
Hey, why not create a social media campaign on your own and get on YouTube and start talking about your product? That's what I tell kids. I go, hey, get on there and create your own YouTube channel, and you can sell more.
Too funny.
Here in Washington, they figured out to go next to the pot stores.
Yeah.
Sit outside the pot store and sell.
That's true. That was on the news.
Happens here.
That's pretty funny. So anybody else have initial questions? I think we're going to have the first training session up and ready to go in the next couple of weeks, Robin?
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry, you answered that question, and again, I was doing something else on the computer, and I don't think I heard the answer.
Yes, we should have, we'll have the cords of steel done fairly quickly, and then InstaJam will follow right behind.
Okay, cool.
So Robin, is there a place that you can show us where, like, we can find the tools and the resources, like the checklist and the other things that were mentioned on the call tonight?
Everything will be posted in the fundraising Facebook group. If it's to deal with fundraisers, it'll all be in the fundraising group. If it was trade show information, it would be in the trade show group.
And so when you're getting ready to announce your training sessions or whatever, people will find that in the Facebook fundraiser group. But we'll probably co-post it in the coaching group as well, just to make sure that people have seen it and they know what's going on. But yeah, we'll make sure that all the sales materials, or all the support materials, I should say, are available through that fundraising Facebook group. And if you're not a member of that, just ask to join, and you'll get approved lickety split, as it were.
All righty, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vicki.
So any other burning question?
We have one. Yes, Patty, it will be located in the file section of the groups.
So, you know, we love our file sections in the groups.
You've trained them well.
It's a love-hate relationship, folks. I'm sorry. We're looking for something a little bit more high-tech and more robust, but until it keeps getting pushed down on the list of things to do. I don't know, by things like Helix and whatever, you know. So one victory at a time. One victory at a time. I don't believe that we have any critical sales rep related updates for this evening anyway. I've been trying to answer those and get them sorted through before this call. And we are working on expansion of the the trade show side of things as well. And we're going to roll that into these calls as well. So this group, in fact, I changed the name of the group to Sales Coaching, because it's grown beyond simply brand ambassadors to include fundraising and all the trade show activity, which are all sales functions. So this will become a group that has all of that, and we'll be letting folks know ahead of time what is the focus of that call, you know, this week and next week, and so you'll know whether it's highly pertinent to you because you're all about fundraisers, or you're all about trade shows, or that sort of thing. So if anybody has any sales or questions, we'll make sure that we answer those now as well. And I'm getting messages down here. Oh yeah, we must take care of Deb Caswell's health, because I swear to you, if she ever, we need her, I don't know how she does this. That's all I'm gonna say. You don't know, on this side of it, I've got like 3 screens open, and it's highly stressful. Okay, cool. I don't think we have any other ones. So if we do not have any further questions, Robin, you said that you have posted this is a PowerPoint, thank you. The PowerPoint presentation is in the file section of the sales coaching group. So if you want to,
it's in a post.
Perfect. Well, and a post actually goes to the file section as well. Right. So feel free to download that. I'm sure that it will grow and be updated on a regular basis, but use the fundraiser Facebook group as your go-to for those exact details. And Robin is the fundraiser lead person within the sales team. So when you have questions about fundraiser programs and where they're going and how they're going, although the sales department does not control the software system, we obviously have communication back and forth with Dawn and that sort of thing. So feel free to reach out to Robin and she'll get down to the answer for you and make that happen. So, all right. It feels strange. I don't, normally we like to have everybody's faces up on the screen, and we didn't do that because of the PowerPoint, but so I don't know. I'm assuming that you're all smiling very broadly at me and waving and sending kisses and all that stuff.
We're waving at you.
You are. Oh, great. Thank you, Saul. That's so good to know.
He didn't say what kind of wave, though, so you have to be careful with him.
I know.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to get that specific because I didn't really want to know.
Yeah. No, you
right,
guys
you
have done a
guys.
great job. I really appreciate you and and everybody on the call. I wish all of you the best with all your fundraising campaigns, and go out there and knock them dead.
Wow, you guys are just the ones to do it. We know that. So let's get out there and help some kids raise some money for football equipment or trips to wherever, or summer camp, or who knows, all kinds of things. So
The churches for their missionary programs. I mean, there's so many, children's groups that are part of a church. There's a lot of good that the community can go out and do.
I've got a couple of animal rescues too that are looking forward to this. Sorry, Salt.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I got a couple of animal rescues too that are looking forward to this as well.
that's awesome.
Oh, that's brilliant. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. I love it.
And just along those lines, I will tell you that I have had conversations with Julie at Rough Life, and that is the fundraiser system programs are something that she is interested in getting into at some point. Not ready for it yet, but she certainly will, for that very reason, Mark, is being able to go after the animal rescue and offering them something that has not been available up to this point. So lots of opportunity. In fact, Robin, it would be really cool if you can post different groups and different organizations that people are having success with their fundraisers, so that everybody knows, hey, you could always try calling, reaching out to whatever different organizations there are. So, all right, guys, thank you ever so much. Sorry we kept you waiting for a little bit. As I said, we'll probably start these at 6:15 moving forward, just to give us a chance to clean up the last meeting room. Because Corey always leaves it a mess. There's like paper on the floor and leftover pizza. It's just a mess. I got to clean the room up and then get the meeting up and running. So we might push it back so we don't keep you waiting, because we appreciate your time and we know it's precious. So thank you ever so much, you guys. We love you, and we will see you on the next call. We'll see you all Thursday night.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen Thursday night, because this has been a fun week. So if you haven't gone on to the Helix site, go on and get your affiliate link up and running and go share it and start building and building. Keep building.
Thanks, Steve Canellis. Corey would never leave pizza.
Oh my God. You're right. He wouldn't.
That's funny. Clean up your mess, Corey.
We're not sure
I love y'all.
I love you guys. You guys be good. We'll talk to you later. All right. Thanks, guys. Stop share and meeting. Bye, Sharona.
Bye.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Elizabeth.
Hey, Cowboy Calvin. Cowboy Calvin was here. Woohoo! Wait,
Cowboy, my man.
he was
Been following him for years.
We were popular. Huh, you know how to pull in a crowd, Robin. All right, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
All right, good night.